Hey everybody, we're back. It's your boy, Eduardo Jackson, CEO, founder, creator of Cinema Draft Game, and today's guest, as I bring up my notes, I know who he is, damn it. You know who he is. You see him tearing up the leaderboards, the group chat, and perhaps even the online sportsbook or two. It's the Roan, Henry Roan Jr.
Thank you. What up? What up? What up? What's up? What's up?
That's right. You
What's
get
up,
the air
America?
horn. You get the air horn because you're an OG back from the spreadsheet days. You were there from the beginning. Tell everybody how you know me.
Well, actually, I know Mr. Jackson because one of his best friends, Kurt Midkiff, married one of my little sisters, Melinda Roan, who is now Melinda Midkiff. So I met, that was 2013, right? I think so.
It was a few years ago. Yeah, I was best
Yeah.
man at that wedding. We don't really fuck with them anymore, but I got you out of the deal, so it's all good. It's all good. Air horn for that. Damn straight. Tonight's drinking game will be the word English because we are delving into British films tonight. We'll get to that a little bit later. And you must keep a stiff upper lip when we go through these titles. So, English is the drinking game tonight.
All right.
All right. And the first segment, my favorite segment, it's what I'm watching. Okay, that's plenty of air horns. All right. Of course, we got to start with the one, the only Game of Thrones. I'm going through withdrawal, damn it. I'm a diehard. I think you're a
Yep.
diehard too, Henry G,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
all
So
in.
talk to me about that truncated yet still somewhat satisfying season. Were you satisfied with this last 7 episode season?
Um, Overall, no.
Oh,
But
okay.
the thing is, and I think you'll know a lot of these hit points because we listen to some of the same pods to watch and binge mode.
Yes,
So like
yes.
the first 2 or 3 episodes, I was like, this is the best season ever because there was action, and it was unexpected action, like Loot Train, even though they're getting killed for the name of that episode.
That's a terrible name, but
It,
it's a
it was
great.
just, but it was like, hey, you're thinking this episode is kind of, winding down. All of a sudden, you hear the Dothraki, then you see the dragons, and you're just like, yo! I mean, dragons are out, man. That was the first time ever dragons were out. So how can you not be excited?
Yeah, man.
But they, some things, and it's kind of weird because I used to complain about the older episodes. It's just like some Game of Thrones episodes were like, oh, okay, Jamie and Varys are just gonna talk in the wagon the
Forever.
whole episode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just
It's
gonna
just
be
like,
one of
oh my
those scenes
god,
rooms and talking,
yeah.
but kind of
And I
missed
was
that
like,
though.
oh man, you miss it now that it's gone because it led up to so much. You know what I mean? And so now, like, and I mean, one of the biggest points too this season for me was just like that idea of getting the White Walker or the White. It's just like, really, guys?
I mean, and I know a lot has been made about this plan because it's a terrible fucking plan. It's an awful
Yeah,
plan, but and I guess I mean there's a lot of like speculation that maybe the D and D as they call them, David and DB, the
hmm,
showrunners, were just kind of working backwards for stuff they wanted to do or see happen, and I just so here I mean I get that maybe after almost a decade they're probably tired of Game of Thrones. They want to do other stuff,
right.
Confederate, whatever. But and as an artist, I understand wanting to move on to do and try different stuff. But my God, I mean, this it does feel rushed in places, and sometimes it's been
Yeah,
exciting, but it also feels like they've unnecessarily done like stupid things. It almost felt like that trip was either a filler or they could have done it a little bit differently, either elongate or made it make more sense. So you
oh
could
yeah,
have you could have figured out a better reason to go north to have like a really cool scene with like the Night King and everything. But I will say this though,
yeah,
it did kind of pay off when you saw Cersei's eyes when that shit jumped out that box on that chain. She's like,
yeah,
like
yeah,
she,
yeah. True.
that even Starky ass Cersei had to put all that shit aside for a second. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, can't. I mean, what's done is done. What is dead may never die. So we'll have to leave that in the past. But I mean, overall, I enjoyed this season. I started thinking about rankings. I was reading something online about how people ranked them, and some people were like,
Yep.
"Oh, dead last." I think it's kind of in the middle. Like, I mean, off the top of my head, I think it's 6, 3, 1, 7, 4, 2, and 5. 5 was terrible. That's if I had to go off the top of my head. If you've got them ranked, let me know. I had to think about it, but 6. I mean, 6 is.
I haven't seen them since the originals. Have you? I know you rewatch. Did you rewatch 6 or?
I rewatched. Okay, so I think so. I have rewatched like all 60 episodes, or at one point I had a girlfriend watch with her. Like she had time to speak for the first 3 seasons, and then we started watching it together. And then I was dating someone, she had never seen any of them, so we had to do all 6 seasons. So I was effectively seeing, the entire series, about 2.5 times ish. And then I think in preparation for this season, I might have rewatched all of season 6. My body was ready. So
you're a little bit of a maester then. I mean, you're kind of like the Black Maester, yeah.
Little bit. Although I would not clean up bedpans like
I know,
boy
right?
Sam. Whew. Yeah,
I'm with you on that
I'm
one.
about to skip some steps on that one.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and so real quick. So what was your favorite episode this season? I mean, I think I know what it is, but
it was probably Loot Train, because the first time dragons were out, man. Like when those dragons were out, I was just like, yo, dragons are out, man. I mean, and they wrecked shop.
It looked just like your boy, your boy Key and Peele. Them dragons.
It did, yo. It did. It really did. I forgot about that skit. It really did, though.
Yeah, Khaleesi and them dragons. Really did. Yeah, and
dragons,
man. Them dragons. I'm not ashamed to admit it either. I went and bought the soundtrack Sunday night. Had to do it. Not as great as the season 6 soundtrack, but they did that whole Danny John love song. It just tugs my heartstrings. So I had to get that. Really good show. I miss it terribly. But what somewhat filled the void simultaneously over the weekend was the other thing I'm watching, and I was not ready. There we go. The other thing I'm watching, which is The Expanse. And we were talking a little bit before we started rolling camera, but I love The Expanse. They call it Game of Thrones in space, which is somewhat accurate. I mean, because you've got all the political intrigue. People are getting main characters, like title characters getting got after, a handful of episodes, people losing heads, people they just don't care. And it's really cinematic, epic storytelling. And actually, before we really had a topic for today, I was going to do top space films. I was just feeling The Expanse. It's a really realized world. I kind of went into it earlier on today's or Tuesday's recap pod or whatever. So if you really want to see my thoughts of The Expanse, you can check out the weekend review and talent pool preview.
Now, is The Expanse is it based off books like Thrones, or is that an all new?
So it wasn't until I was almost all the way through the first season that I realized it's based off a series of books. And you know what? I'm going to do this Game of Thrones style too. I don't want to read the books. I'm a writer. I'm an author. I'm a published author. But yet I was introduced to this, via the show. I'm going to stay inside the show. And actually, from what I hear, they're pretty faithful to the books so far. And the second season just lit. I mean, this young woman, doesn't have a lot of credits, from New Zealand, named Frankie Adams, plays a Martian soldier. So basically, it's real quick, it's 200 years in the future. Earth and the moon are a thing, or a nation. Mars is developed. There are people who've only been born and lived on Mars. And then you've got the belt, which is the asteroid belt, past Mars. And Earth and Mars are about to go to war, and the belt's always caught in the middle because they're like a worker colony generally. And it's just really, and you got all these just like with Game of Thrones, you got all these parallel arcs and tracks where people are, all these main characters working kind of towards the same thing, but not ever really seeing each other or interacting. It's really good. I'm very excited. The cast seems like they're having the time of their lives, and I didn't know they had such production values in the Sci-Fi Network. I mean, it's going down over there. So yeah, if you guys, it's super political, high body count, cussing, no incest sex yet though, but give them time.
Good.
Give them time. Hey, actually,
I'm all right without that.
Actually, let's do a real quick cultural cul-de-sac. Now, I'm an only child. I don't necessarily care. The whole Jamie Cersei thing, I get it. I mean, it kind of grossed me out at first. I get it. But are you with all of social media who are just hating on Danny and John? They don't know. He doesn't know the cheese is on.
Yeah, since they don't know, I think that's totally different. I mean, Yeah, since they don't know, I'm not as mad. I mean, but it's just like, I don't know. Well, I don't think George R. R. Martin wrote this into because all of this is, well, we
Well,
don't
no,
know
but he,
exactly.
well, maybe, well, that's a good question. I mean, I find it kind
Yeah,
of hard to believe that he wouldn't have, those two main characters on a collision course
right.
at some point, and the whole R plus L equals J type thing, that whole fan theory, which was confirmed, which we always kind of suspected or knew about anyways. If you did any kind of deep dive of Game of Thrones,
Right.
I mean, kind of set up this whole kind of collision. But I don't. I find it kind of hard to believe that he wouldn't be on board with with them hooking up, and he doesn't care about incest. He's care, and that whole. And I think I tweeted
Yeah.
something out about like Targaryen. They say early on that I think it was the pilot. Targaryens wed brother to sister for thousands of years to keep the bloodline pure. So
Yeah.
I just kind of shake it off. I think it's funny. How do you think John's gonna carry it though next season? Like he's gonna find out. Bran, the weirdo, the three-eyed weirdo, is gonna tell him. So how do you think he's gonna carry it?
It's going to be interesting, man, because it's basically what he's always wanted to know, like his whole purpose. You know what I mean? Like, and the funny thing, I didn't realize, you probably remember since you rewatched the shows, but like how like it seems, well, like before Ned went to King's Landing and got murked, he was like he told John, like, hey, when I get back, I'm gonna talk to you about your mom. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to you more, blah 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 blah. So like for him to know that, hey, actually I am Stargaryen, a Stark Targaryen. I mean,
Targaryen, I like that.
It's like, I don't know, because I think it's going to be interesting because
we know he's going to brood. That much we know. He's going to brood about it. He's going to look, off onto the white snow of Winterfell, whatever. But after that, do you think he's going to like, all right, I can't be with you, Dany, because you're my aunt, or be like, fuck it, I'm in love. We make a good power couple. Let's do it.
I think they'll probably be like, screw it, man. We're good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they would, because they'd
after
be like,
a lot of brooding, of course.
Of course. It'll be extremely interesting.
Yeah. And so I had to steer us in that cul-de-sac because I was very curious to see what you thought about how they're going to carry it. I hear it's not coming back till 2019, so bring on The Expanse. I think it comes back on February 1st, so they're filming right now. Very excited. And then the last thing I'd say I'm watching is Ingrid Goes West.
Okay.
I can't remember if I reviewed this or not, but I really enjoyed it. It's a great dark comedy. It totally examines like our obsession with social media and validation through social media, whatever. It's mostly about like this lonely young woman who's kind of going through something, like she lost her mom and she's kind of latches onto people like inappropriately. She like kind of latches onto like this Instagram model named Taylor Sloan, who lives out in LA, in California. I think Ingrid's from like Pennsylvania or something. She has like $60,000 in inheritance, whatever. Cashes all of it out, straight cash, homie. Sticks in the backpack. Wow. It's out to California to basically cyber stalk Taylor, become her best friend, and it's funny and sad at the same time. And then your boy O'Shea Jackson Jr., another great junior, Ice Cube Jr. He's great. He plays like Ingrid's like landlord / love interest, and he's so much fun. And this movie I really enjoyed it because it's like the most LA movie ever. Have you been to LA, Henry G?
Not since like forever.
All-Star Weekend.
I know, right?
I think me and your brother-in-law did that like in 2004. That shit was lit. It was so.
Oh yeah. Now, in Ingrid Goes West, Ingrid is Aubrey Plaza, right?
Yes, Aubrey Plaza of Parks and Rec fame. She was April Ludgate, the really kind of dour one. But yes, she's great.
Yeah, I first got introduced to her in Dirty Grandpa, which I thought was extremely funny.
Really, and that's on my Amazon Prime. I've been. It's on my watch list. I've been like, I'll get to it one of these days. So it's funny, huh?
I mean, if you like that type of humor, like that, like Wedding Crashers, like that whole era of that, early 2000s, it's now extended out, and my boy Zac Efron's in there because he's a funny little dude, man. I liked it.
I like Zac Efron too. I think he's got. I know Hollywood loves Zac Efron, but he keeps getting like wrong vehicles for him. But something like this, I think he'd be pretty good. I liked him in Baywatch. I love Baywatch.
Yeah, I got to see that. Yeah, I got to see that.
Yeah, Baywatch is great. All right, so all right, I'll check it out. That might go on later on tonight. Dirty Grandpa. All right, but yeah, but Ingrid Goes West is like just the most LA movie ever. The pretensions, the kind of faux friendships. It's even down to like way they shot it. I mean, it looks like they used like all like kind of like real locations, and it's really reminded me of my time in LA. And if you're into social media at all, and you have any interest or you used to live in LA, you will love this movie because it's darkly comedic, like I say. It takes a really dark turn in the third act, but it's interesting. It's very interesting. I'm glad it's out there. Ingrid Goes West. That's what I'm watching.
Okay.
All right, Harry G, what 3 things are you watching?
Well, it's Thrones, of course. Watching that or finished that. And then I got into. I finished. I'm actually caught up with Insecure now. I started that like a couple weeks ago.
I'm glad you brought that up. Bomani Jones of his podcast calls it the Black Civil War.
He calls. It's. I got it. Yeah.
Because every Sunday it's going down. Women are. It's either Team Lawrence or Team Issa, and it's like I kind of don't have a dog in this fight. I was Team Lawrence at least at the beginning because every nice guy's been dogged out by some woman or whatever. But he's made some questionable choices, like we all did in our late 20s. So
yeah. But I think that show is hilarious. Like, and also like, hilarious, but also brings up like good social points. I mean, like within that, like it's a quality show, man. I've been like pleasantly surprised.
That's also low key a very LA centric show too. Like that Dunes place, like everyone knows the Dunes. It's not like famous, but like if you've driven through Inglewood, you've seen like the Dunes. You kind of know where it's at. So I think it's kind of funny. It's like a landmark now. People are straight up going up to the Dunes. It's just a very super ordinary, average ass apartment building in Inglewood.
Right.
People like, go up there like taking pictures, like selfies by the Dunes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Yeah. So you go ahead. You're saying.
No, I mean, because they make the Dunes so prominent because, like, I've wondered about it. I'm like, the Dunes, like, it's 709 or something. I even know the number because I'm like, I see that.
Super average. It's super basic. Yeah. It's perfect for her character and her stage life. We all lived in a place like that. When I first moved to LA, I lived a block away from Inglewood, so I claimed LA and the LA section of Westchester, which was far and wide. I mean, when people talk about Westchester and LA, it's like there's like, most people think of like the nicer part, the part that like can kind of see the ocean almost. Mine was barely Westchester. It was like a block away from Inglewood, but I claimed Westchester the hell out of it. I was technically Inglewood, and I was in the flight path and in one of those Dunes style type of apartments. So everyone's lived there. G Nice, our boy G Nice, great.
G Nice.
He lived in a Dunes type place with a pool that was always empty. I mean, it's very low key, super LA show, very LA show. All right, well, anything else you watching or?
One thing that we the GF and I started watching one of your podcasts, your friend that works at the Washington Post. We started watching Catastrophe.
Oh, Natasha. Okay. Yeah. Natasha Shields.
That thing is like low key super funny, man. And
it's funny you mentioned Catastrophe real quick. I was going to actually watch the first episode of Catastrophe and I misclicked onto The Expanse and I never got out.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
It was right underneath it, right next to it. I was reaching down the side of the bed and I clicked and okay, Expanse started. Let me just watch some of this. If it's good, I'll stay with it for a minute.
That's fate right there. That's fate right there, man. That is
so thanks for reminding me though, Catastrophe. So tell me about Catastrophe real quick.
I mean, it's good, man. It's especially like if you're like if you're a couple with a young child like me and my girlfriend are. I mean, it's just good. It's the woman is in Britain. The guy is from America, hooking up and like they have an unexpected child. Well, they have an unexpected pregnancy.
Stand gone right.
Well, kind of like a 1 week stand gone right, and so unexpected pregnancy leads to a kid, and then they just develop after that. But it's just funny, man, because it's just good humor, and like I like the British stuff. Like the thing about the Brits that we'll be talking about is like they have a lot of that low key, kind of muted humor, and I like that.
And they're very self-deprecating generally too. Yes,
very self-deprecating, but also very witty. Like almost kind of like sneak diss, and if you aren't paying attention, they kind of get like a little sneak diss,
Okay, all right. Sounds good. All right, so I'm gonna check it out. So now, so I gotta check out Dirty Grandpa, which is on my Amazon Prime watch list, as well as Catastrophe, the misclick that almost was. All right, so I'll definitely check those out. Okay, yeah. So now, all right. So we are on to the main topic of the show tonight: top 5 British films. Here are the rules for those of you who are new to the Cinema Draft podcast. Basically, you name a British film, and to be specific, because it has to be about some aspect or it takes place in the UK or Great Britain or about British life. So it can't be like British directors who are always over here stealing our shit. No, just kidding. No, they are doing really good stuff. Ridley Scott, I love you. You're my boy. But no, so it's like, so it has to be either takes place in Britain or about, British life. Number one. So you have to. So one of us will name a British film. We alternate picks. Once that movie is picked, it's out of play. You can't, pick it. So if you got something you think I'm going to take, front load that baby because we coming for it. All right. But as you are my guest, you get to go first. So Henry G, give us the first of your top 5 British films.
Okay, so it's no particular order, but
no, one at a time. Remember, we got to alternate.
Right, but no particular order. So I'm gonna start out with one that's kind of like up tempo because a lot of these English films that I like are kind of like low key or kind of like a little bit slower paced.
Right.
So, but this one, London Boulevard. You heard of that one or seen that?
I have not. Let's look it up on IMDb. London Boulevard. All right. Oh my God, how did I miss this? Keira Knightley and Colin Farrell. No, go ahead. Let me flip some peek. How did I miss this? Looks so hot. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. It's like it's one of these little Netflix gems that I found. Kind of came out in 2011. And it's something I just like. All right, I like Keira Knightley, like Colin Farrell. Let me check it out. And it's like a really cool story, man.
This looks good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And the one thing about
Ophelia, I love her. She was on Sherlock, or not Sherlock, Elementary on CBS. I love her.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, it's a good movie. Not to say too much or give too much away, but the one thing I like about a lot of these English films or British films is that they have kind of like a surprise ending or an ending that you might not expect. It's kind of like it's just like kind of like not a matter of fact endings in a lot of these things, but like kind of like something that's just like, oh man, wasn't really expecting that. So, but it's a really good movie, man.
So, because I'm actually looking up on, oh damn, it's on DVD only on Netflix. Oh, who still uses a DVD? It's terrible. Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm gonna have to. Maybe it's on Amazon. I'll check it out. That's very interesting. Because I love everyone who's involved. Like this cast is lit. I like it. All right.
Yeah.
All right, well done. Okay, so my first pick is going to be Notting Hill. Get that one out the way. Now, although it is about like an American star, Julia Roberts playing a Julia Roberts-esque type character, it's all about her kind of hiding out in Notting Hill, falling in love with an English guy, and their fame almost being too much for them. And it's got that iconic line, Harry G. You know what line it is? I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy. Ask her to love me. And it's just so good because they both were like really huge stars at the time. I think was this pre or post? What was the name?
Transvestite.
Yeah. The transvestite prostitute. Was this before or after the prostitute? I can't remember.
I kind of feel like it's after.
After? Okay. Yeah, I have a feeling like he shot it before though, because I don't think he didn't really get a ton of like. Well, he still gets work, but it's like he kind of took like a lower profile after that type of stuff.
Yeah,
because he was on this rocket ship. Like he was already kind of everywhere, but he was going to be like the next big thing, like kind of like the British Tom Hanks to an extent, right?
Yeah,
and he's kind of like slowed down. Inexplicably, quote unquote, slowed down after this movie, or not necessarily after this movie, but like in a few years after this. But he's really good. He's super charming. All those things you mentioned that you like about British culture and people is in this movie. Like the whole self-deprecating thing. Like you see him with his family when she visits his they have this whole little riffing session on each other where they just kind of basically talk shit about themselves to each other. It's a really cute. Wow, it's a lot of different covers. It's a really cute movie, the ultimate romantic comedy. Rhys Ifans. This is what kind of really gave us Rhys Ifans, really. Now you see him in everything and a lot cleaner than his character Spike. But yeah, it's just a really good romantic comedy. And yeah, I mean, and probably about as relatable as you could expect a movie star falling in love type movie would be. I mean, I was also thinking about this earlier too. She says this line where people, I think it was something about like when people went to bed with like Rita Hayworth, they're disappointed when they woke up with like whatever her real name was. It's like, yeah, it really makes a movie star relatable. It's like imagine if you were, I mean, I'm sure you're happy at home and everything. Not here to break up the happy home or anything, but it's like if you went to if you fell in love with like Scarlett Johansson or I don't know some really hot super popular movie star, and it's like what's she really like? Like, yeah, you go to bed with Scarlett Johansson, but you wake up with like, hey, I'm just S or whatever. I don't know. It makes you really think about that type of stuff. It makes it relatable. So yeah, that's my first one. Notting Hill. It's off the board. Damn it.
And you know what? All this English talk, I've never seen that movie.
Oh,
like that was
Great
like
night. That. You're welcome.
I know, right?
Mrs. Roan's boo or whatever. Where'd you go? Bring her back. She played 1 week. Bring her back. Coach her.
I know, man. I tried to get her in some week. I was like, yo, I want you to play this week, and I was gonna like let her use my spreadsheet and everything, but something happened. I don't know. The kid got in the way or something. So I was like, look,
yeah, bring her back.
We gotta get mine in the least.
Yeah, and I'm waiting on you to ship this feature presentation. I gotta do it for the old heads, for the OGs. Oh, yeah.
No doubt,
guys. Yeah. All right. So what do you got?
Yeah. All right. So number 2, I'm gonna go with one of my more tamer picks, but quality movie. And I just noticed that I've got kind of like a Keira Knightley theme. So The Duchess, 2008.
Okay. I liked her in that. Yeah.
Did you? Okay. So like I'm a big, like I think you said too, I'm a big, what do you call it? Historical fiction, historical drama.
Yeah, historical fiction. Yeah.
But period pieces, I'm all about them.
Okay.
And I thought that the cinematography, the outfits, the bringing us
hoodie, man, that is lit. Look at that hoodie.
Yeah.
Man. That's beautiful. What is that? Velvet?
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was great, and that's my boy Ralph
Fiennes. Yes,
that's my boy, man.
Have you seen him in like interviews and stuff? I saw him on Bravo Andy once. This dude will do anything. He is like,
oh, really?
He's just like a real dude, man. He just happens to have a British accent. He'll do anything. Okay. He's down for whatever. He's great. Love Ray Fiennes.
Yeah. He's that's that dude, yo. So
is that Agent Carter? Oh my God.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Haley Atwell in the house. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing is. I mean, I remember seeing it. I loved it. I think Keira was nominated for an Oscar for it. And this thing. Wow, I need to rewatch this. This looks like it was really well cast.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I feel it. The Duchess. All right. So for my second one, I'm definitely taking this one off the board. And in the theme of period picks, we're going Shakespeare in Love. It's controversial Oscar selection. I had no problem with it. I love Shakespeare in Love. I thought it was great. I also, my background, trained actor, blah, English degree, drama degree, blah, blah, blah. And I actually had to take a class to graduate Morehouse called, I think it was Shakespeare. And so we read like 20 or 30 plays, whatever. We read a lot of plays. I still have the complete works of Shakespeare. Actually, is it? All right, it's not in the, it is in the office. Yeah. Matter of fact, let me turn on the camera real quick. Let me show you this fucking brick. This brick of a
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Works of Shakespeare. This joint, it feels like a 7 pound. It might be a 7 pound weight. It is legit, and it's got every play and I think a bunch of sonnets in there and stuff. So I got real familiar with this. God, this book literally is like 25 years old. I literally had it in undergrad. Shout out The House. Oh wow, this is getting really. There we go. I'm like, all right, now we're in focus. Yeah, so I was, I really like Shakespeare. Generally, like most of us, drama kids. And it's really well done, like historical fiction, movie. I loved it. It's a lot of fun, really well cast, well acted. Dame Judi Dench winning Oscar for 9 minutes screen time.
And that's my boo, yo.
Baller status. Dame Judy. Oh, and then even Ben Affleck playing like the Ben Affleck of his time.
Right.
Christopher Burke or whatever. What is the play and what is my part? It's just really good. And Gwyneth Paltrow, that's probably peak, or as our boy Bill Simmons would say, it's probably apex Gwyneth Paltrow, Shakespeare in Love. I mean, has she been better in a movie than Shakespeare in Love?
Gwenny P? I don't know, man.
She was really good in Bounce. That also came out like a year after when she was dating Affleck and they're in that movie together.
Okay, because I was thinking maybe Bounce is what I'm thinking of, or she was in some movie called Sliding Doors or something?
Yes, we covered that last week on the alternate universe pod. Yeah, so that was an interesting movie. I vaguely remember, but I liked her in it. Fun.
Oh, she was in. Oh my gosh, what's that movie, man? The comedy How, when she was like the. When she was like the what's the guy's name? Like it was Hal something where the guy only saw her.
Oh, Shallow Hal. Farrelly Brothers. What are they up to?
Yeah.
Okay, Gwenny P. Though this might be apex Gwenny P. She's charming. She's beautiful. She even gets a little naked. Whatever. I mean, I really enjoyed Shakespeare in Love. That's my number 2 pick.
Okay.
All right. So what you got?
All right, number 3, I'm going to ramp it up a bit, man. Layer Cake.
Whoa! Hold on. That definitely deserves a sound effect.
Yes. Yes.
Whoa!
Yes.
Layer Cake. All right, go ahead, spit game on this. I don't know if people realize the low-key gangster classic Layer Cake is. So go ahead, school the people.
Yeah, it's solid, man. Another little Netflix gem from back in the day. Stars
I saw it in
Daniel.
the theaters, by the way. I might have been the only one who did, but I saw it in the theaters. It was very intriguing, yeah.
Yeah. Craig, I'm looking back. I didn't even know. I forgot.
Hold on, break up a little bit. Go ahead and restart for me.
I said I forgot that Tom Hardy was. It looks like Tom Hardy was in it too. I think I forgot that.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, but basically, it's Daniel Craig is like, plays like a criminal. He's like a gangster kind of.
True.
Well, not kind of. He is a gangster, and he's like in the underworld. Is he trying to get out?
Is he like trying to get out?
He's
like one last
score
exactly. Thing? Yeah.
Trying to get
one
out.
One last score. That's a very, very tried and true plot device.
But the way it's done is so good, and the thing that's kind of ironic is like those, surprise British endings. Like he's kind of arrogant in that sense, and I can't remember if it's because he's like, because Daniel Craig's like, he's just like this, he's criminal gangster, and he's just like that man, and he just kind of like runs people over. But in the end, it kind of catches up to him. So, but it's just a solid movie, man. It's solid. Lots of action, good plot, good movie, good actors.
And I like the set design of the costume because obviously these are rich guys. This isn't like the Wire type gangsters, per se, as far as like we're just gonna lay low and live in the hood. No, these guys live well. They live well. They do some grimy shit, but they live well. He's always in suits. He's always going to people's house. Look at the wood paneling, crying out loud. Look at all those old ass, portraits on the walls. That's how they live. They're always in suits and stuff. So it's kind of like the glitzy side. I won't say glamorous, but the glitzy side of organized crime in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'll see your Layer Cake, and I'm gonna raise you. I'm definitely taking this shit off the board. Snatch. Yo. Snatch. Oh my God. I'm almost speechless how great this movie was, how much I enjoyed this movie. I might have seen it 2 or 3 times in the theater. I definitely owned it. I definitely had it like on DVD. And it's just, Guy Ritchie, this definitely is peak Guy Ritchie. I'm not sure if he's ever, Sherlock Holmes, the first one was pretty good, but this is like peak Guy Ritchie because he's just, this is just like, we're just going to give Guy Ritchie every actor he wants and set it in London and have at it. The Pikeys, damn it. Brad Pitt needed subtitles, damn it. He was so pikey. I don't remember. I don't get a caravan. It's amazing. I love this movie. young Jason Statham doing Jason Statham things. This guy, Stephen Graham, the face you've seen everywhere. He played Al Capone in Boardwalk Empire, whatever.
That's right.
I mean, he's in fucking whatchamacallit, Taboo. Your boy Tom Hardy. This movie's everything but Tom Hardy, because this might have been a little too early for Tom Hardy. Like, we weren't in our Tom Hardiness yet, but Tom Hardy would have fit right in with this movie. Dennis Farina is like as the Jew. The Jew, was he a jeweler, right? The Jeweler or something. Vinnie Jones playing like a heavy, I mean, all these like weird names, people, these funny names. I think they called this guy Tiny or something. Black gangsters, Irish gangsters, pikey gangsters, British gangsters, English gang. I mean, it's great. And Benicio del Toro, what is he doing in this movie? He's got.
I didn't know that. I forgot.
This movie had everything except for maybe women. Otherwise, the movie was great. Another one of those kind of like it's a combo like gangster heist caper flick and a movie with a lot of moving parts. Really, really enjoyable. Some bare knuckle boxing. And like I said, Brad Pitt this is the type of movie.
You like Dags?
Yeah, Dags. Dags. Like, woof.
You like Dags?
Dags. This movie makes me smile. I'm smiling ear to ear as I flip through these photos. I love this movie. This movie was great. It's great. Damn it. Another one I have to rewatch. I love this movie. I miss it. Snatch. Get some. A 55. Nice. Who the fuck? You know what? This is what. So all right. Sorry, I'm gonna go a quick cultural cul-de-sac. Just seeing this Metascore from Metacritic, which is like aggregation of all these critical, reviews. Fuck critics, damn it. This is what pisses me off about critics sometimes. I used to write movie reviews for like 10 years. You need to know where people are coming from. All right. These people aren't the hand of God. Everyone's got their own unique, background or cultural experience from which informs all their opinions. Fuck a Metascore. 55. Screw you. This thing's like 100. This thing's like 100 times 100. I love this movie. All right. I'm off my soapbox. Actually, I got one more. All right. There we go. Fuck a critic. All right.
I like it. I like it. I'm up?
Yes, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna go with another Jason Statham movie, man, The Bank Job. Did you ever see that one?
No, I think I did, but I don't remember much about it. So go ahead and tell us about it.
2008. It's a heist thriller. Statham's in it. He's the main guy in it. It was, I need to rewatch it, but it was action, but good plot. It's just like a solid movie, man. Like Jason Statham, he's not like super crazy beating people up, but it's just kind of like a good movie. They have to kind of plan out the heist. It's almost like Goodfellas-ish in the sense that big Goodfellas, in that big heist in the Goodfellas, where they had to plan out the guy, had guys doing this, boom, boom, boom.
Oh, I remember this. This is a period flick, right? They were like they hold up like for the bank. They
71.
1971. Yeah, tunneled under. Yep. Based off a true story, right? Yeah.
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 So
that was good.
Yeah, quality movie, man. So that's my number 4.
Are we unfairly unfairly stereotyping Brits for like heists and gangsters? I mean, it seems like the movies we like in our top 5 are veering that way.
It's kind of true, man. What's up with us, man?
Okay, so all right, so my 4th. Okay, let me come out of this. Decisions. Okay. And actually, we haven't done any James Bond, so I'm gonna exclude James Bond. James Bond doesn't count. He doesn't belong to the Brits. He belongs to the world. Let's go with. Oh God. I mean, you know what? I guess this also is a bit stereotypical because we are kind of falling into this. Well, I guess when people think of Brits, because it's such a long history, or whatever, they tend to think of. Well, I guess with us, gangster and stuff, but also I'm going with Pride and Prejudice. Keira Knightley is just winning like crazy in this damn movie, and also on our list. I mean, she's winning like crazy. She's great. She definitely does period very well. All the corsets you want. Matthew McFadden. I mean, I never really heard of him before this movie, but he's great in it. Tom Hollander, he gets around. Yeah, anything decent that's British, he's in. Tom Hollander. I mean, once again, no one does a corset better than Keira Knightley. I mean, based on the Jane Austen novel. Ooh, don't let the Jane Hive come after me for that one. The Jane Austen novel, of which of course I read, I think a couple times, high school and college. I think all the gloomy woods, the mists, the riding through while raining, all that good stuff, all the great set decoration, landscapes, all that good Britishness. Very good, very very British, historical-ish fiction type movie. Yeah, Pride and Prejudice. Damn it.
Okay.
All she wants is to marry Mr. Darcy and for Mr. Darcy to be worthy of her. I mean, who hasn't just wanted the perfect woman or man and have them be worthy of you?
There you go.
There you go.
There
Pride and
you go.
Prejudice.
I like it.
Right,
I like it.
And then your last one, number 5.
All right, I'm gonna go off of the gangster thing, and I'm gonna go to another well-known British hero to us, Mr. Holmes. The Sherlock Holmes movie with Ian McKellen, 2015, where Sherlock Holmes is an aged, still a detective, but he's retired technically.
Wait, hold on. There's a movie that came out in 2015 for Sherlock Holmes. What's it called?
Mr. Holmes.
Oh, really? Hold on a second. How did I miss this? I like Sherlock Holmes. Mr. Holmes.
Ian McKellen, Laura Linney, and I think the kid is Milo Parker. And then there's a Japanese guy in there who you'll know if you see him. I don't.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Mr. Mr. Holmes. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. There it is. Okay. Wow, how did I miss that?
Yeah, man. It is.
I'll get there. Keep talking. I'll get there in a second.
Yeah. So this was it's 2015. So this would have been this was spreadsheet day. So I was going to say this wouldn't have been in the limited. But who got me into
spreadsheet, man? You heard that on the spreadsheet? Like, I gotta go see that movie. That is an excellent endorsement for Cinema Draft. Damn it! They show up in our talent pool. We gotta go see it.
Yep. Because what? My mom, man, is actually don't know until you grow up. But my mom has always kind of been into British shows and stuff. Okay. And I just when growing up, I was just like whatever. But I'm just I guess that kind of influenced me because she saw this movie. She and my father went to see it first, and they said it was good. And then I got it, and I was just kind of saying, because I don't know, I'm not super excited. It's going to be kind of slow. And I was like, let me put this in. I was really good, man. I mean, but Ian McKellen, you're not going to really go wrong with him,
True.
And I mean, and the story that they do it's a really cool story. Of course, the cinematography, that's the one thing about these.
Real quick, what's the really cool story for those who haven't seen this movie like me? How did I miss this?
It is. So Sherlock Holmes is retired. Watson is dead. And he goes to retire in this little home in this little English village, and Laura Linney is caretaker. House assistant, and she has a son who lives with them. So he and Ian McKellen or Sherlock Holmes start making a bond, start hanging out, doing stuff. He becomes kind of like a father figure to him or grandpa figure to him. And then at the same time, there's this old case that Sherlock Holmes is working on. And he kind of, brings the family into it or the son into it to try to kind of figure out the stuff. And so it's kind of you see, because how Sherlock Holmes is kind of a snarky, super conceited guy.
Yes.
Yeah. So in this movie, which is so good, it's he kind of comes around. He kind of around, living with these two people. He kind of sees a different side of things and becomes a little bit less abrasive, I guess. But it's just a really quality movie, man. Well made, and I really enjoyed it. I think you'll like it.
Okay, Mr. Holmes. Yeah, Ian McKellen, can't go wrong there. All right. So for my last one, you know what? I'm not gonna overthink it. Trainspotting makes you proud to be Scottish. Yeah, I haven't seen T2, and that's just because I was so busy. We were running the game and everything. But man, Trainspotting, it's fairly iconic. Have you seen Trainspotting, Henry G?
Are you gonna be mad if I say no?
No, that's fine. I mean, it was an indie when it came out. I mean, I only know about it probably. This might be a G Nice special. I only know about it probably because of of Greg. He might have put me onto it. But when I watched it, I loved it. I owned it. I think on VHS. That's how damn old I've had it or had it or whatever. But yeah, and it's just look at how young all these dudes. I mean, Johnny Lee Miller did the Sherlock Holmes on Elementary for CBS now. Ewan Bremner looks the same. He looks small and weird. He was in King Arthur movie. Ewan McGregor, super young. Obi-Wan. Don't know what happened to this dude. And then Robert Carlyle, he's in every. Oh, holy shit! Hold up, that's Kevin McKidd. Are you kidding me? That's him. Wow, dude's on Grey's Anatomy. Wow.
Oh, that was the dude. Didn't he have that? Didn't he have that Rome show on HBO?
Yeah. That's where I first got acquainted with him. Was on Rome. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The short-lived 2-season, very expensive Wonder Blunder, but I liked it fine. That's where we also saw Ilya Martell, aka Indira Varma. She was on.
Oh, he was first. Yeah.
Yes. All her fine. Right. Yeah. But yeah, so Train Spotting. It's just wow. That is him. Wow. That's dude from Grey's Anatomy. Crazy. Yeah, and then this is the scene where that scene is just great. Look up just Google or YouTube Proud to be Scottish. This scene will come up. They're sitting in a plane. They're basically about being like Scottish or whatever in the United Kingdom. I guess Scots are looked down upon sometimes or from certain segments of the population. And he's in this field and he's just like, he goes on this great rant. He's like, yeah, look at this shit. Look at this shape. They make you proud to be Scottish. I don't hate the English. They're just wankers, but we're colonized by wankers. What's it saying about us? He just gets really like emo about it. It's really great. Ewan McGregor. It's basically about druggies in Belfast, Scotland, and it's technically a British movie. UK takes place in UK, and they're all like struggling with drugs and everything, and it's really interesting slice of young life back then. Danny Boyle. I think this is the movie that put Danny Boyle as a director on the map. And Danny Boyle, we know, has gone on to great movies, Sunshine. I don't know. What are some other great Danny Boyle movies that are out there? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. He's done like a lot of interesting stuff. Danny Boyle. He's done. I need to know that. I need to look this up real quick. I've really enjoyed his Slumdog Millionaire. Duh. Okay, I think he won an Oscar for that.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Slumdog Millionaire. I think he did this one. I think he did this one. 28 Days Later. That's great too. Yep.
He did The Beach.
He did The Beach. Yeah. I remember after coming off of Titanic, all that Leo heat. The Leonardo DiCaprio heat is like a big coup that he got him in his first post-Titanic role. He's a really interesting director, really quirky director. He does different stuff that it's not for everybody, but I didn't realize it's Steve Jobs. I like that movie. All right, even though I liked it. That script was fire. Come on now, that script was excellent. You don't think so?
It was okay. Like I read the Steve Jobs book by I think it's Walter Isaacson. Mm-hmm. But the book was great. And if I would have seen the movie first, I would have liked the movie more, because anytime that I read the book first, Eduardo, it's like I know too much detail. I'm just like, oh, that didn't happen like that, or they're trying to, because I know what they're trying to do in like 2 hours, trying to give you the entire, well, not the entire story, but like in that one specific segment. And I mean, it was okay. But
I mean, it's essentially
the book was great.
Like having basically one set like this, I mean, it's essentially a play, and I think, was it originally a play, or I can't remember, but I know Sorkin wrote it, and we know Sorkin hails from like the theater and all that sort of stuff. But Sorkin, it's very Sorkin-esque script. I mean, the script is excellent, and I just remember, I think this is the one where I read the script first, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be very interesting to see how they do it, like on screen. And it's just such a really good script, and the dialogue's really crisp and stuff. And Steve Jobs is an asshole, but he's a bit of a tortured genius, whatever. I don't know. It was really interesting to see all the dimensions of him, his daughter, his relationship with his assistant. Kate Winslet is excellent. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was underrated. I thought the script was excellent. Should have got a lot more kudos than it did. But a lot of people didn't like. Well, it got an 82 Metascore. It's interesting because from commercially, it wasn't very well received. Like it came and went in like a month and a half. So that's pretty sad. It's a really, really cool film. But yeah, Danny Boyle. So yeah, Trainspot. Sorry, our little cultural cul-de-sac. Welcome to the pod. We be doing donuts in the cultural cul-de-sac. It's spinning, it's spinning, it's spinning, it's spinning.
It's spinning.
It's spinning. It's spinning. All right, so yeah, so let's do an air horn. Yes, that is our top 5 British films. Now to the crux of our podcast. What is Cinema Draft? For those of you who are new to the podcast, it is the fantasy sports version of movies, but instead of picking athletes from teams, you're drafting actors from movies. How their movies perform at the North American box office will earn you points for your call sheet of actors while competing against others for fun and prizes. You must draft 10 actors who are each assigned a dollar value salary. You have a $100K budget to try to draft all 10 actors. It must be 10, no more, no less. You have 3 release types of movies: wide, 2,000 screens and up; limited, 501 to 1,999 screens; and platform, 500 screens and below. And you must draft at least 1 actor from a movie in each of those 3 release types. You get 2 headliners per film. Their points are worth 40% more. So, for example, if you have Suicide Squad, which earns $100 million in a weekend, Margot Robbie would get 100 points at 1 point per million per actor, while Will Smith, as a headliner, would get 140 points. Math. All right, it's free to play. Get over $200 in prize this week, plus a $25 bonus to the highest scoring call sheet. Shout out to the God of Cheese. He won this last weekend's call sheet of the week and the $25 bonus. Beta testing's open and live, and let's actually, let me get a screen share going in a second. Take a look at oh, excuse me. Let's take a look at our talent pool for the week. Get the screen share. And yeah, so real quick, any movies and actors you're looking out for this weekend in the game, Henry G?
I haven't dug too deep. Let me look. Let me see if I can pull up mine.
And also a new feature we're offering our loyal players in the Cinema Draft game. We've had we've even though we're kind of stymied in development right now, I did want to give more access, more tools for you guys to use. I know people like Jaybird was very fond of the spreadsheets to help them optimize his call sheets a little bit more. So we are giving access to spreadsheets on our corporate blog. If you go to medium.com/@cinemadraft and go to the post where we have the tournament results, you can click over here and to see the new talent pool, and you can get this very same spreadsheet that I work on all week. Aha! Yes, there you go. And it will change. We are constantly updating it throughout the week, trying to give ourselves the most up-to-date information as possible. We definitely update the box office report tab. The talent pool, not so much once we lock in the salaries or whatever, but definitely check the box office report tab. Make sure you're up to date on the latest and greatest as far as screen counts, release types, all of that good stuff. Okay, so yeah, so you're saying, Henry G, anyone you're looking out for this weekend?
It's the biggest. It's the new release is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That's all we're working with this week.
Yeah, trick question. They all suck, damn it. Nothing's good this week. It's probably now even though last week had probably the lowest score in Cinema Draft history, a winning score. I think 93 points was the call sheet of the week. 90.22 points. Shout outs to Drew.Zod, aka the official science guy of the pod, Julian Smith. He was my guest last week. He got the Cinema Draft podcast bump and took down the feature presentation. Here's hoping you fare just as well, Henry G.
I was about to say, history's gotta repeat itself, man. I need a victory out here.
Absolutely. Get that $46.25 top prize feature presentation. Side bets galore, of course, going on each and every week in the group chat. But yeah, so basically this week, as far as the shot list goes, the shot list are views you can use to pick the winning Cinema Draft call sheet. And the first part of the shot list is the A list. And these are actors you will definitely want in your call sheet. This week, I use that word definitely very loosely because it's a pretty spare looking week out there in Cinema Draft Landia. I mean, we only Go
So
ahead.
with your movie knowledge and industry knowledge, just break it down real quick to me. This weekend, Labor Day weekend, what is the industry's perspective on this? So this is obviously like a dumping ground. We're not going to debut anything this weekend, right?
Woo, loud. It is. I mean, so it may not be official
Hmm.
in Hollywood, but this is by far the worst box office weekend in the entire year, consistently year to year. This is the
Yeah.
week 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, that brought us we are your friends. That Zac Efron
Oh, that
classic.
DJ movie?
Yeah, the DJ movie that nobody saw in the theaters but your boy. Because even back then, I had no life. I went and saw it on a Friday, paid cold hard cash money to see it. It is one of the top five or lowest five grossing wide release movies in history. In
Ooh.
history, not I mean, not I don't even think counting for inflation either. It's just, no one saw that damn movie. It was on like 2,000, 2,500 screens. I think I might have the ticket for it somewhere around here, and it's just a dumping ground for Hollywood. Nobody cares because it's the last weekend of the summer, and actually probably the only real break in the industry in C suites in Hollywood where they actually take off and like go somewhere and have like a mini vacation before they get back out to slug it out for
Okay.
the fall and the winter. So yeah, it's the worst weekend of the year. We're gonna
Mm.
see. Oh man, we might have to do an over under, in the group chat on how many points the win is going to be this week. It could be 75 points. It's going to be terrible this week. It's going to be
Yeah.
god awful. So yeah, so keep that in mind as you're selecting for your call sheet. And the thing I really liked about Julian's call sheet, Drew.Zod's call sheet, was that it was a very safe call sheet. And I only say I like it only because usually we're promoting high variance strategies, stacks and stacks. No, he did the Noah's Ark, 2 by 2 by 2, almost everything, and just played it safe. Had an all-star call sheet. Everyone was a headliner. Played it safe and scored 90 points. And my hat's off to him. Kudos to you, sir. Get the salute.
There you go.
So yeah, so the A list this week it's going to be very slim. Let me go back to the screen share real quick. The pickings are slim, but I think this might be the week to gamble on a foreign focused film, a 3F, Haslo Como Hombre, that is on 370 screens and platform release. It's a Mexican movie. Going back to our theories of population proximity and density and all good stuff, I think they might turn out for this movie. It's a comedy. I think something about like gay, straight, social politics in Mexico. I don't know. I just have a feeling about it. I price it up accordingly for the platform. It's only 6,000 to get started, 6,200 for a headliner. So I'm not sure if I'm going to full stack this. I'm not sure if I'm going to max stack this, but it's on my radar.
Okay.
And second on the A list. I mean, once again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Going back to the Hitman's Bodyguard, I might actually pay to go see it this weekend. Ryan Reynolds, he's cheaper than two headliners. I mean, you're gonna have money to spare this week, Henry G. So you might as well, go get what you want. If something you see that you really want, just go get it. I mean, we're gonna have a lot of like we normally encourage leaving less than say 5,000 remaining in budget in your call sheet. This week, if you have less than 5,000 on your call sheet, you did something wrong, most likely. So get what you want. I mean, you can probably even max stack this and have money left over. I mean, it's going to be a very slim weekend. I'll be very curious to see the projections for our friends over at Box Office Pro, what they think is going to be the leading weekend grosser, because it could be as little as like 7 million, 8 million. There's nothing really. I mean, everyone's gonna be. I mean, this is the last week in the summer, right? I mean, you probably have plans for Labor Day, right?
I'm supposed to do a football draft in DC on Sunday. I know.
There you go.
Coming from Virginia Beach up there, it's just like traffic is going to be a nightmare this weekend. But we'll see. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But
I guess you are going with traffic on that one, huh? Because when I'm living in Vegas, I'm always going against traffic. It's perfect. Everyone's always trying to come to Vegas, and I'm always leaving out. And then when I'm going back, everyone's going back to California. It's awesome. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Didn't mean to rub that in your face. Okay, co-starring. Now, these are some values you may want to look out for this weekend. And yeah, you hit on it. The re-release of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Terry Garr, she's cheaper than two headliners, but once again this week, price or salary is not going to be, is not going to stop you this week. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Terry Garr. Just going off of what Terminator 2 3D did in its re-release last weekend. I went and saw that. I actually paid to see that, as well as Ingrid Goes West. I mean, it might do some business. I don't know. It's just such a slump. As far as limited release goes, this might be your best performing limited release. This might pull $2 or $3 million. 6 or 8 points.
That would be nice. Yeah.
I mean, it's right now. I mean, when we talk about replacement value, this is definitely gonna be the week where 8 might be the replacement value you're going for. 8 points might be like the high point. So get it where you can. Yeah. And then Tulip Fever, Dane DeHaan.
Your boy. That's your boy.
No, he's not my boy. I'm kind of down on Dane DeHaan only because like he was so miscast in Valerian. He is somewhat charismatic. I've seen him in other stuff. He's a fine actor. He's fine. But I'm so down on him for Valerian. But he's in this movie, Tulip Fever. It's been delayed a few times, which is always a trouble sign. But I'm curious. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's curious about Tulip Fever. I kind of touched on it earlier in the recap pod Tuesday morning, where basically, it's it kind of reminds me of like how people talk badly about Bitcoin. They always refer to it as like tulip mania, where basically this artificial bubble where tulips became like super popular and super expensive back in like 17th century Holland or Denmark, whatever. I'm kind of curious about that. Historical fiction, that's our shit, Henry G.
That's right. That's kind of okay.
Yeah, so I'm thinking I might check it out. It's gonna be, it's gonna take a lot to take me out of the apartment this week, or out of the house this week, because it's Narcos.
That's right.
Narcos season 3 on Netflix. So I think also the box office is gonna take a beating this weekend. Even though we are here for the box office, studios, people who want to invest in Cinema Draft and promote the fan movie-going experience, we're still here for you, but it's going to be a tough weekend. It's Labor Day weekend, people taking 3-day weekends, and Narcos on Netflix. It's going to be rough, but if not that, then Tulip Fever is on my radar as co-starring. Any others that kind of interest you this week? Anything you think that might be like a hidden value play this weekend?
Looking over at first glance, like I saw Hitman Like You. I was thinking that. I'm thinking Wind River too, man. That might be a nice little way to go.
If it dips back into limited, because it actually kind of screwed itself a little bit by going into. Let me scroll down to Wind River. It's been out for a minute. There we go. Wind River. Yes, I priced it up 1,000, I think, this week, or up 500 this week, only because I anticipate it might slip into limited because it didn't really do that much in wide release. But it kind of shot itself in the foot by going wide release. As you can see, last weekend, 2,095, just over the line from limited to wide release. If it dips below in the limited, you're right. That's actually a pretty good look. I like where your head's at.
Yeah, I like that one.
And your plays been pretty strong of late. Like you've had some top fives recently. You're primed. You're poised to take it down one these days.
I'm always I put in that work, man. I made my little spreadsheet. I'm trying to get a little something going.
Yeah, and you're part of the group chat. Consistently. This is probably the first week that someone from the group chat did not take like the top spot.
Yeah, like I was like, who is this person, man? I was like, okay. I haven't checked out the pod from last week, so.
Yeah, the official science guy. He was really high on Birth of the Dragon. Good thing it was such a flat weekend that it didn't really cost him. But yeah, it was really proud of our boy Julian. He's been out there trying with the game for a minute now. And also, let's pour a little out metaphorically for our boy Excellent, my man. 19 straight weeks, a Cinema Draft record. He had cashed, came to an end this past weekend. Brought a tear to my eye. Excellent way to put in that work.
Good job, Excellent.
Yeah, we appreciate the continue. And to his, I don't know, consistency or credit. Like I don't know if he was doing only safe call sheets, but he never outright won the feature presentation during this streak. But he was consistently like in the top 5 to 7-ish. Like he always had like good enough, but not. So that just shows that you can even be a consistent performer, make some money in this free-to-play game.
He was doing NASCAR, man, just getting those points, man. Qualifying for the playoffs.
Winning stages, but not racing.
You don't have to win every week in NASCAR.
Just win a stage or two. Win a stage or something.
That's what you gotta do, man.
Absolutely, and that also, I mean, that's a great point too. I don't even like NASCAR like that, but thanks to DFS, I'm intrigued. NASCAR's got my attention, so well played. That's the power of daily fantasy sports type games, like Cinema Draft as well. And also, so the cutting room floor, these are the ones that you are going to not want to have on your call sheet at all. Get big, kind of harsh. I know it's on its own. It's in its debut week. As you can see, I've got zero expectations for it. Everyone's priced $5,000. It's only on 7 screens in AMC theaters. I never even heard about this movie. I didn't do some deep digging to get some new films in the talent pool this week. And basically, it's by 2 unknowns on the worst movie-going weekend of the year. Hard pass. And then also War of the Planet of the Apes. It's been out forever. It's been doing yeoman's duty, but it's way too wide for its own good. It's in limited release, 800 screens probably. I mean, only if it drops into platform release do I have any interest in this film. But it's probably not going to do that. It's probably going to hang around like 700-800 screens, which it's unplayable. It's unplayable.
Yeah, that's tough.
All right, so. I think we already kind of covered any movies you're kind of interested in possibly seeing. Do you have any interest in Tulip Fever or anything that's coming out this weekend, Henry G?
You know what? Tulip Fever, now, after you said that, I pulled up the thing. That looks kind of interesting to me. Just looking at Zach Galifianakis is in it, that's going to be interesting right there.
I know, and it's not like an outright comedy. Like, I always find it interesting when comedians play like straight roles, because I think people give them less credit than just because they're usually known in comedy. So it'll be interesting to see him play that. I'm intrigued too. Actually, you know what? I think we'll go see. Maybe it'll be a Saturday matinee. No post-lock movie. We're doing Narcos Thursday night, but yeah, it's definitely gonna have to check out Tulip Fever at the box office. Okay, and off of that, the over/under this week, Tulip Fever. Does it have enough to get 2 million this weekend? Over/under. What do you think, Henry G?
2 million this weekend.
How many screens is it on? It is on 600 screens.
Under.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I'm going under.
Well, all right, man. Ooh. Wow, that's. Oh, man, I want to dispute the logic. 2 million seems like such a low bar to cross, right?
Right.
I'm gonna be contrarian, damn. I'm gonna go over. And maybe $1 over, like 2 million and 1. Watch it get 2 million and 1. All right, so that's over under. Last week's over under almost as pathetic. Birth of the Dragon, 55% picked the under on Birth of the Dragon. Your boy Julian was optimistic. He had the over. He was wrong, sir. You are wrong. I had the under as well. Surprise, surprise. I was actually right. It grossed less than 3 million. I think it was like 2.7 million. So that's how that poll worked out last week. And I guess we're gonna wrap it up, Henry G. Where can you find Cinema Draft? CinemaDraft.co for the free beta. We're on all the Twitters, all the Facebooks, all the social media. Our corporate blog is at medium.com/@CinemaDraft. We even have a Pinterest board, damn it. We're everywhere. Subscribe to the podcast, iTunes, our YouTube channel, Google Music, SoundCloud, anywhere you get your podcast, damn it. We are also live this week with the game, Thursdays, 10 p.m. Pacific time when the game starts. Theater lock, that's when we lock in the release types and the theater counts for the game throughout the weekend. That happens at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Just add 3 hours, Henry G. You know how to do some math. You're over there in Virginia Beach. Also, results are generally Monday evening. I am hand scoring these days. Fuck my life. But until we get some funding and development money, we'll be hand scoring. So hang in there. Wait till you see the announcement on Twitter or Facebook, whatever, that hand scoring is done. Thank you for your patience. Appreciate that. And Henry G, thanks for being on the show. There it is. Give yourself a hand.
Thanks for inviting me, man. It was great. First podcast ever, man.
Yeah, the Ron OG. We got to have you back. You are definitely OG, back in the spreadsheet days. Really appreciate your support all these years. Much obliged. Do you have anything to plug? If you haven't, plug your ish.
Well, I'm a dad of a 2-year-old. If anyone's in Virginia Beach and wants to babysit, come on by.
Yes, absolutely. So you can go out and see some movies, right?
So I got to go see some movies. I'm trying to see Tulip Fever this weekend. Help your boy out. Trying to take the GF out. Come on. Help us out.
Yes, and I like to play, the GF. Let's get the Rones Boo. She had like a 1 week cameo appearance. Get her back in. Let's get some more players in this game.
I'm gonna work on the Rose Boo. I'm gonna get her in this week. I think I can do it for this week.
Two incomes are better than one. Just ask Bethany and Mike Vellante.
Right,
Michael Vellante.
Power couple right there.
They are a power couple. Them also Smart Ash and boy, Ring Balls. Yeah, Ring Balls 22. The couple that drafts together last forever. All right. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening and watching. Y'all know what to do. And once again, thanks again to Henry G, my man, the OG from the Spreadsheet days, be on the podcast. Appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. And between now and the next podcast, y'all know what to do. Go see a movie or something.